Train Lover 1974 presents Murdoch and Arthur. Henry is one of the heavy goods engines of the island, and often helps take goods trains and occasionally passenger trains. But he's not the only one. Morning, Henry! Morning, Murdoch! Indeed, there is Murdoch. Murdoch is one of the biggest engines on the island of Sodor, and often takes a lot of the heavy goods that Henry or Hank can't handle. However, Murdoch doesn't do just goods work, as he proved himself after rescuing Pip and Emma, and being rescued by Spencer earlier in the year last year. So in case if any of the other engines are busy, Murdoch will often pull passenger trains, as he has grown to like them ever since he rescued Pip and Emma, as I have mentioned. But at the end of the day, Murdoch does like to come home to a good night's rest, especially after hard days of work. On one particular day, Sir Topham Hatt came to see Murdoch. "Hello, Murdoch, I have a very important job for you." "What may that be, sir?" "Well, there's an extra heavy goods train coming in, but I'm afraid Hank and Henry can't help you." Why not, sir?" "Hank is going to be busy with other heavy goods work, and Henry has a passenger train to take later on today. So, I am having Arthur come help you." "Arthur? Oh, you mean the engine that works along the fishing line." "Exactly. So, do you think you'll be able to work alongside him?" "I'll certainly try, sir." "Good. Now please be on your way. We have a very important It's a very important delivery." "I will." Murdoch was a little hesitant. He had never worked alongside Arthur. However, he had heard good things about him. Arthur was equally concerned. "I don't know, guys. I don't know if I'll do well working around Murdoch. I've never worked around him before." "Well, you have nothing to be worried about. He's like Henry. He's a peaceful, gentle giant. Henry can be rude sometimes. When have you ever heard Henry be rude to you?" "Never?" "Exactly. Plus, you've been doing well for the past couple of years. I mean, especially after that whole unlucky day incident. We don't talk about that, James, I know. But I'm sure you'll be fine." "I agree with James. You'll do fine, Arthur. Murdoch is a very kind engine." "I would be careful. It's gonna be a heavy load today." "Why aren't you and Douglas gonna help Douglas?" Did you just say Douglas twice? I mean, why aren't you and Donald going to help our Murdoch? You are stronger than me." "Well, it's because we have other work to do today, and Henry and Murdoch..." So sorry about that. The narrator had a bit of trouble, including Douglas over here couldn't keep his mouth clear. "Oh, be quiet. I meant Henry and Hank can't help today because they're carrying heavy workload, and me and Donald are busy on passenger runs and other goods. So I'm sorry, Arthur, but we can't. You're the only engine available." "Well, what about Boko?" "I have to work with Edward along his branch line today." "James, I am not going anywhere with those dirty trucks." "What about Oliver?" "Well, obviously, I'm not strong enough." "You got this, Arthur." "Alright. I just hope I'll be able to handle it." "I'm sure he'll be fine." "He will be. With Arthur's level-headedness and Murdoch's strength, they'll do fine." "Murdoch can keep a straight head too, you know. I know, I'm just saying." "Well, yeah, but you think you should be more clear." Arthur soon arrived at the station where Murdoch was waiting. He was shocked to see the very long train. "How on earth are we ever going to pull that?" "Well, luckily I'm a 9F, so I should be able to handle it. But thankfully I'm glad you're here, because I'll probably need your help up Gordon's Hill. So here's the idea. You'll push from behind, and I'll pull." I think maybe I should go in front, possibly? Because, I mean, wouldn't the stronger engine be good at the back to help push? No, it should go at the front, so this way there's more pulling power. Your strength will then help me get over the hill. What if we just double-head it? Well, because the reason I want you at the back too is so this way you can keep an eye on the trucks, since I can't keep an eye on them at all times. Alright, I'll go at the back. Wait for me. I will. Soon Murdoch coupled up to the front of the train, and Arthur coupled up to the rear. I'm ready. So am I. And the two mighty engines set off with their very long train. Ugh, this is heavier than I thought. Murdoch and Arthur sat down the line. The train was indeed heavy, but they kept a good speed, hoping to get ready for the hill. However, they had to slow down for the junction, as a big engine like Murdoch had to be careful going around the switch. Take it easy, Arthur. I am. As they knew one fatal mistake could lead to the trucks all derailing, so they wanted to make sure that wouldn't happen. Carefully and easily, the engines made it across the junction switch, and then got ready for the hill. Alright, Arthur, give it everything you got. We're approaching the hill. Right. They soon began the climb. However, Murdoch's wheels began to slip as the train began slacking. Come on, Arthur. I feel the train getting heavier. I'm trying. It's very, very heavy. Arthur pushed and pushed, and he pushed and he pushed. But the train continued to get slower and slower. More pressure was being put on one of the vans, who was not in a good age. Alright, Arthur. You can stop pushing a bit. I'm near the top. But Arthur didn't hear. He kept pushing and pushing. Until... Whoa! Murdoch came to a halt. What's going on back there? Oh, now I know how Douglas felt after he accidentally crushed that brake van. At least the brake van didn't crush. Oh. Don't worry, Arthur. I'll go get help. I'll take the train the rest of the way. I think I can handle it. And Murdoch set off to get some help. As he set off down the line. Later, Douglas arrived with the breakdown train as they rerouted the crushed van and the brake van. Oh, don't worry about it, laddie. I went through the same thing. You don't need to worry. At least the guard's okay. Yeah, and thankfully the brake van didn't get crushed. Although, I'm still worried about what Sir Topham Hatt might say. Oh, don't worry, it wasn't your fault. It was those stupid trucks for holding back. Murdoch said they were causing trouble. I should have known. And you are not to blame. Oh, Sir Topham. Indeed, Douglas is right. The troublesome trucks were causing it. It turns out that van you had was having a hot box. However, though, it was very hard to notice. And by the time you started pushing more on the hill, it ended up giving way. I guess that's the only, reasonable response. Indeed. Arthur, I'm sending you to the works for repairs, but you did excellent. You managed to help Murdoch get the train the rest of the way. But I didn't, sir. I only got him this far. And if you didn't get him this far, he would have gotten stuck on the hill, which would have delayed the train. You did very well today, Arthur. And Murdoch did well, too. That is why, after you're repaired, you and Murdoch will receive a new coat of paint. Thank you, sir. Oh, no worries. Now, if you excuse me, I need to go handle some business with my wife. Wonder what's going on between those two. No idea. Later, Arthur was at the works. Murdoch came to visit him. Hello, Arthur. Are you doing okay? I'm doing fine. At least there wasn't nobody hurt, at least. The guard managed to jump clear just in case the brake van did crush. So this did mean that nobody was hurt, thankfully. That's good. I'm telling you though, I'm very proud of you. You are? Yeah, of course. You pushed that train very well up the hill. I was losing steam, yet you were being able to push on. Even when I told you to pull off. No, you didn't. You couldn't hear me over our chuffing, but you were pushing with a lot of strength. Probably with more strength than a 9F. You gave my class a run for their money. I guess so. But don't feel bad, Arthur. It wasn't your fault. I know. No, I better be off. I have a passenger train to take. But remember what I said. Arthur did. Arthur never really worked with Murdoch again after that. He continues doing his normal work, such as passengers and goods work, and along his fishing branch. However, though, whenever he sees Murdoch pass by with a heavy goods train, he always makes sure to give a friendly whistle, and Murdoch always gives one back, to thank Arthur the banker.